I'm in my little workshop today and talking a little bit about work boots. My preferred work boot is a Chippewa boot. I've had a few different pairs. My first pair I gave away. I was talked into buying them big to wear 2 pairs of socks with them during the winter. That was a mistake, complete mistake. My other 2 pair were destroyed by chainsaws, but they saved my feet. This here is my 4th pair of Chippewa boots. This is my 5th pair of Chippewa boots. They're identical boots. I like to have identical boots. You can rotate your boots off every day, and it gives them a chance to dry out. They'll last longer. Well, these ones here, you can tell, have a different sole on them than the boots over here. See this? This is a single piece sole and the double sole. Problem that I have is I took them down to be resoled because with me digging quite often I wore out on the insoles of the right foot and the left foot. Well, the right foot was completely through, the left foot was almost through from digging with the shovel. So I took them down to be resoled, and they told me that they were going to put the same sole on. Instead of having a compressed paper insole, they would have this here is a leather insole. And I said, great. Paid them $135. And unfortunately, when I get back, I have a boot that has a heel that is much lower than a corresponding boot. As you can see, they're actually lower. If you were to match these up, you'll see that that heel is a good 1/4 of an inch lower. So I noticed it right away, and I put the boots up to compare. So I take the right foot from one, the left foot from the other. Put these together. The heel's a little longer, not a big deal. That the right one is actually about a 1/4 of an inch narrower than the other boot. Boots from the other side, this one is 3/8 of an inch difference. So basically, if you have boots being resoled, they'd at least have the same size soles on the same boots. But you can look at this here. We can line these up, and you can see a 1/4 inch difference. So my assumption is that they used either a substandard sole or 2 different size soles. And they're obviously both are different sized than the ones that came from the original Chippewa factory. So I walked in and I complained to them about it and explained to them what there was, and they said, well, go home and try it. A narrower sole shouldn't be different. Well, I think they're incorrect. So I wore them around home a little bit, didn't notice much, but I was inside the house. Since they're the same size boot, I took the insoles out of these boots and I put them in these boots. The boots are tighter. It's obvious that they're narrower on my feet. One's tighter than the other. I don't believe it's a lacing up issue. I believe it's because that sole, and they stitched that sole to the leather upper of the boot, so it just makes it narrower. Well, they insisted this and that, and I talked to them a little bit about boot care, and I even bought extra stuff for them. They gave me, throw me some daubers in for free. This cost me, I don't know, I think close to $20 for some shoe oil to take care of it. But they did do something nice. They put some caps on the heels because with me driving the tractors and whatnot and driving the vehicle with a manual transmission, I tend to wear the heels. So I do have these caps on them here. You can see those. So that was nice of them. They gave me some freebies, the 4 daubers for the shoe oil and the caps and the heels. But I explained to them that the heels weren't even the same height. And of course they wanted me to try it. So the same day that I picked them up and I expressed these concerns, they told me to go to, or come back, if I could come back later when another person was there who does all the soling. So I go off, do some shopping, and I come back, and I have the notification that, the guy had to step out for the rest of the day, which I think is ridiculous. You figure you treat your customers right, but that's when I reluctantly agreed, and I bought the shoe oil so I can take better care of my boots. At this point right here, now I've made a second trip back on the same day, and now I'm going to make another trip back because I took them home and wore them, which I never should have done. I should have told them to fix them there. I mean, they told me that they stand 100% behind their work. Now, when I took these back in, and I explained to them that they're different, the guy was shocked I had 2 pairs of identical boots. And the reason for me, again, having that is so I can wear one day and one the next day. Let them completely dry out. I mean, the insoles last longer. The whole boot lasts longer, especially if they get wet. They can sit by my fireplace or in front of a heater or whatnot. So unfortunately, I have to go back again. Now, mind you, I travel 35 miles. I paid $135 for a thing that didn't work. I continue to patronize their business by buying almost a $20 thing of shoe care oil, which isn't going to fix my soles on these boots. So now I'm at a 35-mile special trip today. Well, it's 35 miles back, so it's 70 miles for a $135 sole job. Now you figure the time it took me to go there and come back, to go there and pick them up, which I did in effect twice, because I had to go back a second time the same day, which I wasn't that far away. But you know, you try to work with people and be decent. So now I have a $135 pair of boots. It's going to cost me an additional, now it's cost me in effect, it's roughly 70 miles a day, so that's 210 miles on my truck. These cost $220. They cost like $10 to be shipped, or I could have just went down to the town where I bought them and paid, I think they're $224 off the shelf at Boot Barn. I'd have a new pair of boots, identical boots, and I wouldn't be dealing with this. I really believe that it's, you know, nowadays customer service just seems to be non-existent. You know, I mean, I actually went and wore these and tried them. You can see they're dirty. You can see they're scuffed up from me digging with the shovel. You know, they would have had basically a customer for life. But, you know, this kind of thing is just ridiculous. So I'm going to go back and see what they tell me today. I have a feeling there'll be another excuse. It's bad quality, bad customer service all the way. So I'm going to head down there and see about what they're going to say. So it's been a couple of weeks before I've gone to the shoe repair shop, which I now call or refer to it as the boot butcher shop, to have the new soles put on these boots here. Well, I explained to him about the sole being narrower and the height of the like the toe area and the top of the foot area is not as tall, and the heel being lower. The only thing they said they would fix would be the heel. And I asked them for my money back. They told me it wasn't going to happen. So I ended up going to Boot Barn, bought another pair of boots. Now, how I found the boot butcher shop is Boot Barn had a stack of cards in there. And I asked them about something. They said, oh, we have cards for a place down the street. So I said, okay, you know, I'll grab a card and call them, take my boots down to have them repaired. And then this big fiasco happened. So now I buy another pair of boots, and they cost me, you know, over $200. And these ones here, you know, cost me $135. So in effect, you know, I've paid over $330, close to $350 plus for my boots. Well, really, I think they were over $226 or something for my boots. So I paid, you know, over $350 for a pair of boots that cost $209.99 plus tax. So I explained to the lady in there, you know, I asked her about it and the cards, they still had them. And she says, yeah, do you want one? I said, no. I said, you know, I had a little story about it. And I told them what happened with everything. And she said that, you know, she's going to pull them off the thing and whatnot. But she was a little skeptical. She sounded a little skeptical. So I told her, you know, well, let me bring the boots in to show you. And she says, okay, yeah, that's great. So I took these boots out. They were brand new at the time. I brought these ones in and I brought these ones in. And I showed her the difference in the soles, laid them down, and she took pictures of it and said she was going to forward it to the store manager. She was I think, customer service or sales manager or something of the nature. And she's going to, you know, forward that to the manager when, you know, the next Monday when the manager was in. And we had a little bit of small talk there about the boots or something, and she was typed on the computer, and I'm thinking like, wow, you know, she's just kind of blowing me off. Well, she turns over and looks at me, and she tells me, she says, well, I can refund you this amount of money. As I was like, for what? You know, I was shocked. And she says, well, you know, we gave you a bad recommendation. And I didn't even see it as they were referring me to that shop or anything else or recommending that shop, because when I picked the card up, the girl who gave it to me originally just said, we have some cards here that was left. So I tell her it's not necessary, and she says, no, she says, I want to do it. You know, I want to take care of the customers. You know, we had given this card to you that turned into be a fiasco for you and cost you money. You know, I'm gonna help you out and give you some back. And I was astonished, flat out astonished. I mean, that's a level of customer service that, I came from some place that got me upset and very disgruntled. And now here's someone trying to make it right. And I had already paid for this pair of boots. She was going to hand cash out of the cash register to give it to me. And I said, well, Boot Barn's going to earn that money back. So I asked her to put it on a gift card. So she gave me a Boot Barn gift card and 25% refund, $49.80. $49.80. And that's a level of customer service that, goes up above and beyond, because they had a business card of someone that basically caused a financial expense for me that I didn't need and didn't deserve. They were helping me out. When I went into the boot butcher shop, I heard the two employees talking about business was down. This is a mom and pop shop. It's got the owner's first name, Shoe Repair. And maybe business is down is because of this kind of stuff here that's happened with these boots. People aren't going to spend $100 to come back and not be able to use their boots, not have them as comfortable. If you're in business, remember, customer service is the key to have your customers return. You can't build up a strong business, in a lengthy business, if you don't have returning customers. Once you go through the customers, they come to you and they don't come back. That's just lost business forever.